Hey, so can we just skip this part? We don't need the normal intro. Everyone knows, Amsterdam is beautiful, it's picturesque. We don't need to create some contrast like a dark criminal underbelly. That's not what this project is about. Here's the thing, the Dutch are very tolerant to drug use. Now I know, not everyone, not all Dutch, I get it. But seriously, it's wildly casual. It's almost as easy to get as Uber Eats, and users order it the exact same way. Stickers posted around town advertising delivery services, texted menus to scroll through and select from. And if there's a blue plate special on these menus, it's ecstasy, the farm-to-table specialty of the Netherlands.
I think it's acceptable in the party community, like outside.
Even if, of course, it's the best that we stay anonymous.
Yeah, but it's like that for everything. Like you recognize a picture or like a brand, and that's what stays in your memory.
To be super clear, ecstasy is illegal in the Netherlands, just like anywhere else. So whether you produce it, whether you trade it, whether you make these beautiful little pills, it's illegal, no matter what you heard about Dutch tolerance. So my name is Thijs Roes. I'm a journalist and historian, and I've published on drug policy, culture, and all the weird stuff around it for best of the past decade. The Netherlands is not only the biggest producer of ecstasy, but us Dutchies are also the biggest per capita users of it. So which of these two came first? And maybe they developed in lockstep. You know, we have these big cities here with a permissive rave culture, but we also have huge harbors, Antwerp, Rotterdam, where chemicals from all over the world come in, and they're right next to a rural area with old barns that are ready to be repurposed. So if you have these two things together, then you get this really potent mix where this market could flourish. One pretty telling stat is that more than 1 out of 10 adults have tried ecstasy in this country, which is super high compared to anywhere in the world. But I want to add in some nuance that 90% of the country has not. So nowadays there's way more production of ecstasy than this country could ever need for its local market. There are more pills, they're cheaper than ever, and it has led to a highly competitive market for producers.
You could say that ecstasy is a commodity here. The supply is virtually unlimited, and the number of different producers is massive. So what do they lean into to outsell the competition? Branding. Every logo you can imagine has been stolen, appropriated, and pressed into an ecstasy pill. Colors, shapes, symbols, text, producers try to differentiate their product with branding, but copycat designs spring up almost immediately. So they're constantly designing new and timely designs, whatever it takes to grab attention and move product. This is black market marketing. Logos a few millimeters wide that give users a way to choose a specific producer's pills by name. Red Double Trouble, green Heineken, blue Tesla. In the world of marketing, this is wild. And we think it deserves a closer look. So we contacted Peter.
So we're here in the Netherlands, what's probably the largest producer of party pills in the world. And we're taking 70 grand worth of precision photography equipment, and we're using it to photograph a party pill that might be, worth €5 out on the street somewhere. Yeah, so you've seen this thing 100 times, but have you ever actually noticed it? The people that are consuming these pills have maybe seen them in a flash in the back of a nightclub or in the hallway outside of a bathroom of a booming club for a second before you consume it. But to take this thing, examine it effectively under a high-resolution microscope, that recontextualization really starts to force people to think about what those pills actually are. In the case of these pills, of course, you're looking at drugs, and you're looking at drugs that have been designed, and you're looking at drugs that people have decided what goes into them and also how they look, the aesthetics of them. And I think that that's something that I really want people to start having a conversation about. And when it comes to the branding of those drugs, what I really find fascinating is why people would trust the branding of a drug. Why would a drug dealer or a pill producer put a Tesla logo or a Heineken logo or a Netflix logo on a pill? What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. What I hope people start to think about is when they see a Netflix pill blown up at 4 feet or whatever in a gallery space, maybe they'll start to question why they would trust a Netflix pill more than a Blue Punisher pill or vice versa. Why is that? And is that really a sensible way to be,
These images, you could print full resolution more than a meter wide. And when you see the pills this close, I really hope it makes you start to ask some questions. Think, what exactly is in this pill you're taking so casually? What are those little flecks you see? Is one pill really like another? Or if you have the same design in different colors, could they possibly even contain the same chemicals or promise the same experience? I guess the real question is, what effect is the branding having on you? Is it creating a false sense of trust in a pill and a producer that definitely hasn't earned your trust? I don't have the answers, so I spoke to someone who might.
When we produce a new design, we have like weeks, maybe months before the copycats are literally everywhere. We don't want copycats to rip off our designs. They may look like the same, but they have less good MDMA and maybe even other cuts that are harmful, Just because a pill looks like another pill, it may be completely something different. We're always making new designs. It's simple, right? We want to sell as much as possible. Changing the shape, the color, the stamp makes it look like a greater variety, and people like what's new. Look, we want to be different and stand out from the crowd, even if our pills, have the same stuff inside. But not all the pill designs sell so much. I will give you an example. Blue Punisher, a very popular pill still. The Donald Trump pills, not so popular, obviously. I don't think anybody would want to put Donald Trump in their mouth. Maybe people don't think so, but I actually care about the quality of our products. The artists who create the ecstasy pill designs, we don't get the credit, right? But we still take pride in producing high quality products, even if, of course, it's the best that we stay anonymous.
It's just like the producer said, designing these pills is really like a cat and mouse game, who is ahead of the other, who's more in tune with the culture. But it wasn't always like this, It used to be that there was just like one pill, or maybe two, because the equipment to make these things was just not so readily available as today. You can look into the old designs of like all the pills that came out in the past decades, and I did so, and it's really cool. You can see these macro trends evolving. And so forever, these blue Mitsubishis, they were like the house brand. You would see them everywhere, and that was like pretty much the only one you could get. Back then, these pill designs had a much longer shelf life because the equipment and the tooling that you needed was much more expensive and harder to get by. So if you had a good pill design, you would use it for years because you didn't need to improve. Blue Mitsubishis, they were the standard pretty much for years. You knew what you were getting. The whole market basically had that pill, and then suddenly you saw, a Rolex come up or a Mercedes come up, and you saw that this market was trying to explore all these different brands suddenly. And so when those became kind of stale, like all these funny ones started popping up, like more cheeky, like Mario or Shrek or Obama. And then this whole new line came out that sort of like was proud of the Dutch heritage of these pills, like a Heineken crate, and I saw a tulip logo and a windmill, all to sort of say like, yeah, comes from Holland. And so while this is all going on, the prices of the pill making equipment itself come down all the way, and custom tooling is now available for order with a one click on Alibaba, and you can pretty much make any logo that you desire. So that brings us to where we are now, like these short run designs pretty much for every cultural trend that's out there. It's really like the memification of these ecstasy pills. You can put any sort of joke or idea on an ecstasy pill and make it part of the culture. the end of the day, you know, these custom pill designs, they are all marketing. And just like with all other marketing, it tells you very little about the actual product that's inside.
Right now, in the Netherlands, someone is sitting at their computer on Illustrator, designing the look of their next batch of pills. What cultural meme will they tap into? What brand will they appropriate? What logo will they steal? Who knows? But there is one thing we know, absolutely for certain, that even if you see a pill up close, even this close, you'll still have no clue exactly what's inside. So perhaps it's no coincidence that in a market where the oldest marketing tricks are still being used, the same age-old wisdom still applies. Caveat emptor, buyer beware.